So today at about 10:40 this morning, we received a call that the river was rising quite rapidly. The river actually crested 18 feet. When I received the call, it was at about 16 feet. By the time I got up here, within about 10 minutes, the river had crest. It actually came over in the 300 block of River Road here in the Felton Grove area. At that time, OES placed a mandatory evacuation. The evacuation consisted of about 100 residents. Most everybody left willingly. There was about 5 or 6 residents that did remain behind. The whole evacuation is, probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours long.
We woke up at about 4:30 this morning and heard the rain pounding hard on our skylights, and we knew that the big storm was coming. We kept watching the river gauge on the computer, and when it got to about 14 feet and it was rising 2 feet and a quarter every hour, then we knew we were in trouble. We tried to get out and warn our neighbors, the newer neighbors that have moved in recently that aren't used to the floodplain, and tell them to get things going.
I've only been here 2 years. I've never been through a flood before, so I didn't react. And then the neighbor across the street came across and told me, this is an emergency, they're telling us to get out of here. I reacted right away, moved my van, and we got the rest of our cars out of here. We wanted to make sure that we did what we were told to do, because we believe they know what they're doing. The interesting thing is I drove my van over to the Safeway parking lot, because that's real high up in the air. In the time that I did that, just going over there and walking back, the water had come up about a foot. It really surprised me. I didn't realize it was going to come up that quickly. It's pretty impressive. Our home is safe because it's 13 feet off the ground, but everything we had in the basement, we were rushing around, putting things on tables and all this sort of thing. And I was lucky. It only got about this far into my building and only a tiny bit of, depth.
We just have lived here so long that we know to pull stuff up ahead of time. But neighbors down the street, they got their car stuck in 4 feet of water, and they just they don't sense the urgency that we know is there. It's an urgent situation. Mother Nature does not wait. She's not patient. You gotta get your stuff out when you can. This storm came on quick, and it brought a lot of water with it, and it seems to flood faster than it normally does.
It's been raining all around this area, and the water's coming in from everywhere and getting into the river, and that's why it's so bad this time.
We are very concerned about the next few days because we need to have pretty much 24 hours of no rain right now. If we have a huge storm and we're up to 15 feet, then that is some serious flooding. That's some serious water that we cannot handle, and I would estimate that we would get feet of water on our property and not just little inches here or there. So we really need the water to stay away until the river can recede. The dangerous thing about the flooding is the debris in the water, because it can carry a whole tree, and you certainly don't want a tree coming into your property and slamming into your house at 15 miles an hour. It's the force of the water is not to be taken lightly.
At this point, our concern is not high, and the reason for that is the forecast doesn't indicate that there's a heavy amount of rain. We are forecasted for showers off and on, but that won't be significant enough in our mind to raise the levels of the river enough that we'll be back here. If we do get a period of a heavy rain in the near future, due to the fact that the grounds are very saturated and they don't hold water very well at this time, we could be back this year, especially with the predicted El Nino year that we might be having.